Hey guys, this is Brandon with OnCourse Outdoors. I'm putting some new motors on the bottom of two different feeders. So we grabbed one of these Moultree all-in-one feeder kits, and we got the solar panel kit that goes with this. I'm going to bring you guys along with me and get a little bit of footage shot while we're in the woods, just doing some maintenance before I actually start to hunt this year. So I'll see you in a little bit. Sunday afternoon. I'm running a little bit behind as far as bow season goes. I usually don't get into bow season in Maryland too big in the first week or two. It's usually a little hot and bugs are bad, but I usually have all of my feeders set up and I have my trail cameras out. I like to keep my trail cameras out through the summer, but I'm trying to keep up with my son this year. He is really taking bow hunting seriously for the first year. He just shot his first deer with a bow, and he was pretty excited about that. We just got it all cut up last night. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me and get a little bit of footage shot while we're in the woods, just doing some maintenance before I actually start to hunt this year. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Now this is an old feeder that was given to us. It has not been operational in several years. In fact, we're just gonna try to make this work. This is a piece of property that we actually don't even hunt on. But we're gonna set the feeder up just to bring some wildlife in. So it's just the barrel itself, and we put it on some T-posts. Actually works pretty well. But yeah, it was boogered up pretty good. I think for the way that we're installing this new motor on here, it'll be fine. So we grabbed one of these Moultree all-in-one feeder kits, and it's nice. It actually has the funnel built right into it, and then these things swivel so they bolt to pretty much anything. And then it comes with batteries. We actually replaced the batteries with some rechargeables, and we got the solar panel kit that goes with this. So it's a pretty neat setup. Now, I've used these motors before, never used them with the solar kit on them and the rechargeable batteries, but even with the regular AA's, they actually last for a long time. I mean, they'll last a season, hunting season, which, you got a couple months. You don't have to mess with it. Pretty easy to set up. Set the time, you set, I think, up to 4 feedings a day, and then you can set how long the spinner spins to throw corn out. So I've had pretty good luck with these. Okay, now mounting the motor is actually pretty straightforward. It's got 3 arms that you can position to line up with existing holes in a feeder, or in this application, the bottom of our feeder is pretty jacked up, so we're actually just going to spread them out a little bit to avoid the existing holes, and we're just going to go ahead and drill some new holes to get our bolts in. The holes drilled in here now. We're actually going to get inside of here and push the screws through from the inside. We drilled the holes a little bit small, that way we could actually thread them into the plastic and let them stick out. Otherwise, you really need 2 people to get inside of this thing. Here I'm actually went ahead and bolted the solar panel to the bottom of there to hold the arm for that. But yeah, really without drilling those holes a little bit smaller to thread into the plastic, you really need 2 people. One person on the inside of there with the screwdriver, the other one on the outside, holding a wrench on the end of that nut. Set this thing 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. We don't hunt down here. This is just to keep some wildlife in this property. This is we're going to set it for 7 a.m. I'm only going to have it go off for 3 seconds. We're just going to put a little bit of corn out here. I'm only going to have 1 setting. I'm only going to have it go off once a day, just once in the morning. But I still have to set up the 3 other time settings. So my first one is at 7 a.m. The second one doesn't matter what the time is, and then the time that the feeder actually runs is 0. There's the third one, 0 seconds. Fourth one, 0 seconds. And then, according to the instructions here down at the bottom, test feeder, press and hold the mode button while runtime seconds are displayed. So if we have the runtime seconds displayed right there, then we'll press and hold the mode button. And then we need to get away. He's just gonna start chucking corn. Not a bad amount of corn, just to spread once a day, just to keep some wildlife in here. All right, so tools involved in this, I'll show you while I'm cleaning up. I had this is an impact driver with a Phillips bit on it. I had a 1/4 inch drill bit out. Actually, I don't know where that is. And I had a regular screwdriver, which I only used that to take the old stuff off. I did bring an adjustable wrench with me in case I needed it, but really pretty minimal tools. Had to drill the holes in there, obviously, but pretty simple setup. So, any questions, let me know. And I found my drill bit in my trash. So probably lose more tools that way. All right, so we're gonna pack all this up, throw all of our tools in the bag, get our trash out of here. We're going to go on to our next location to go get the rest of our stuff set up. Okay, so we are pulling into the other piece of property right now. One thing that I forgot to mention was the other feeder. I always like to have a game camera or a trail camera on our feeders just to see what's coming down there. Even though we don't hunt that other piece of property, I do still like to see what kind of wildlife are there. That's actually that particular property. I'm actually there every morning. So it's kind of neat to actually see them in person, but it is neat to just check the cameras out and see what's going on when I'm not there. But we are pulling into this other piece of property right now. So we'll get this other feeder set up. Okay, so we actually have a logging road that we're pulling down here. Now this feeder, we actually had one of the original motors on it. And I think the next one we're gonna do, it'll just have to be replaced. Okay, so we are on the logging road on our way to this other feeder. I just wanted to stop and show you guys this too. This is my son's feeder that he has on the side of the logging road, and he puts a little bit of corn in this every now and then, and he keeps it real close to the ground. Pretty much the deer will come and nudge that thing and knock some corn out of it. The only bad thing about these is that the deer will sit here and they'll nudge that thing all night. They'll just eat all of your corn. But it is a good, I think that they're like $20 or something. So it's a good cheap way to keep some deer in here, around where you want them to be. So if it's legal to bait where you're at, yeah, these things, you definitely work real nice. They also keep the turkeys and a bunch of other wildlife in here. It's fun to just, if you're sitting in a stand board and you bring some squirrels and stuff in too, so. Yeah, this is the feeder that we're going to be working on today, and this particular feeder, it actually had a Moultree motor on there that actually just mysteriously disappeared. So it came down here one day and it was just gone. So we're going to put another one on here. Keep our fingers crossed that nobody messes with this one. And you can tell that it has a repair there. We had some squirrels get up there a couple years ago, and they actually chewed the side of this out. This is a Cabela's brand feeder. But we were able to, we get into kayaking and learn how to do some kayak repairs. It's not a real pretty repair, but we were able to actually weld the plastic together and just completely repair this, so we didn't have to fork out another $200-300 for a whole nother feeder. So we're keeping this thing patched up and keeping it working. So it's not pretty, but it is effective. Okay, so you can tell looking at this, this actually had a metal cone on it to begin with, and then we fit the bracket on there. But the way that these things bolt up here, somebody actually just grabbed a hold of this thing and just ripped it off. So yeah, that's interesting. Now I usually have a trail camera right here on this tree. We usually keep it pointed right here, so I'll have to go through some trail camera footage from last year and see if I have anybody on camera actually pulling this thing off. Let's get this fixed. What the inside of this looks like. That was from the repair. in the thing. So I still have 2 bolts in there. So what I'm going to do is put a screw in one of these holes. So it will hold my wrench. So we're going to try now. See if that'll get it out. Got all the bolts out. Got the new bolts put in with washers on them. Now we're going to go ahead and install this thing. Now the old cone that was on there, the funnel, the bolts actually match up perfect with the starting locations on this. Now these things do move back and forth, but we actually, all the way in, they match up perfect. So, and this is, like I said, this is a Cabela's brand feeder. So, yeah, that works out really nice. Okay, so now I've got my camera back in place, and we've got the feeder all set up. All right, we're back in the car. Sorry, I ran out of batteries, so I couldn't get all of the footage from the install on those feeder motors. I think you got the gist of it watching the first install. We did get the second one installed. I went ahead and put 2 trail cameras up on the property, so we are ready for bow season. So stay tuned if you like this. If you want to see, you know, how we do this bow season and on through hunting season. I'm sure we're going to be mountain biking and riding some dirt bikes and doing some snowboarding and basically anything outdoors. We try to get into every weekend or sometime even in the weeknights. So if you like that, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to check us out on a regular basis, and thanks a lot.